Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Flying and Eating. Today, let's go somewhere and do something, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Hey guys, it's Adam here. On the previous episode of Flying and Eating, we went to the uniquely named Obama Japan to see their odd President Obama statue, as well as back to Kyoto to see Nintendo's headquarters. Now, it's time to head to the US. Technically. Ohayo gozaimasu. It's basically time to go. I'm gonna pop into Conveni, get a little breakfast. I guess I don't know what day it is, but I probably put it down there. Anyway, we're gonna do that, and then we have to head off to the airport. I'm not at Haneda. I'm at Narita, the other airport, the weird one. The one that is the far superior airport in the much weirder location. It's like up northeast of Tokyo, and they built it because they wanted the city to start gravitating in that direction, population-wise, and it never did. So it's just a super major airport kind of in the middle of a farm. But why are we here? Do we have to fly out of here to get home? We are going home in the sense that we'll be back in the United States, but I'm not going to Chicago. So it's been a couple of years since I was at Narita. I did a whole video on it. They still have this up, the Welcome to Japan Nintendo thing. There's also like a mall in here. I'm gonna go look for that and see how it's changed. So when you're here, currently we're on the first floor. If the big mall I'm talking about is on the 4th and 5th floor, we're gonna go up there before we check in. Yeah, I can't stress this enough. Narita is a really cool airport that has a lot of stuff. It's also very common to kind of be stuck here for a day because the way routes go through, it's not worth explaining, but basically you do end up here for like a whole day very often when you're transiting. So hotels around here are kind of cheap, but also they basically built a mall here. I've done a whole video showing a lot of this stuff. Like I said, I'm just going to do a little update, see if there's anything worthwhile. Last time I was here, it was kind of dead, and then before that, it was super alive, but that was pre-pandemic. So we'll see if anything's changed. So there, of course, we have the Starbucks. We have a bunch of mall stuff. If you want those stereotypical Kit Kats, usually the best place to get them is, in fact, the airport. A lot of gift packaging, stuff like that is always available here. Same with sodas, although I haven't seen any special ones yet. But traditionally, that's the easiest place to find them is because they know that's what tourists want. Here they have like a cool food court. I used to eat in here a lot. I have different plans today, but it was cool. If you guys can allow me to get sappy with you for a second, a couple of years ago, before my mother passed away, she and I only went to Japan once, and it was basically for 24 hours. I showed you guys some of that in previous videos, but we ate dinner here when we got to the airport, and I think we sat right there. And I still have this photo of her sitting there eating udon and not really knowing how to do it. It was pretty cool. Just a nice memory. She would ultimately pass away only about 6 months later. Now we get into the geek stuff. What they know you want. Oh, did you go to Akihabara and you forgot to get your PlayStation shirt? Or your anime stuff or whatever? Yeah, they got you here. Look, see? Dreamcast memory card. This is actually the exact card holder I have for my Suica card. That's pretty cool. How much does this thing cost? I mean, I already have one, I don't need it, but yeah, this place I think is tax-free, but unless you go over 5,000, it won't matter. That's about $8 for that. A lot of Sanic and Shadows mooning me for some reason. Yeah, I don't need 2 of these, but that's cool. It's probably the best thing here. The rest is just like stickers and stuff, and anime trash, and Neo Geo shirts. You gotta give them bonus points for that. Dreamcast shirts. Dreamcast will take you to a brand new world, more than just a TV game. A new level of entertainment awaits you. That's actually on the box on the Japanese consoles. It's cool they stick with that. Yeah, this makes me happier. All the stuff's back open, everything's successful, because all these places were totally closed last time I was here. The McDonald's can close, that's fine, but everything else, that's nice. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. For the record, there's an upstairs part, and when you get up here, they have convenies, they have more stores, restaurants, but they also have a nursery if you need it, as well as an observation deck where you can go and watch planes take off. So up here, they also have a ton of these gashapon capsule toy things, and you get this nice view down at that food court again. I love it up here. Around the corner, you'll find more restaurants, and that's the observation deck out there if you just want to sit there and watch planes. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff here. Like, dude, you can get a haircut here, like if you want to. It's awesome. So I'm about to go over there to go check in, and I know I've told this story before, but I just want to, it bears repeating. When my mom and I were here, I believe we were like right around there, and a couple of Japanese people came up to us, and the guy spoke English and was basically asking if we would talk to his niece who was studying English and just wanted to ask us questions about why we were in Japan. And afterwards she gave us an origami bird that I still have. My mom got one as well. And it was probably the best memory my mom had of the trip because we were only here for a day. And she was a teacher too. She liked to teach English, so she was really happy about that. And I'm just glad she got that memory. Okay, this is airport security. I'm gonna go through this. This is not exit customs, though that happens shortly after this. You just kind of follow the process. Exit customs now is basically just kind of scanning your passport and leaving, but they really don't like when you film that stuff. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do all this, and I'll catch up with you on the other side. All right, I cleared initial airport security. It was kind of funny. They did want to see what the Pluto was, but they didn't even bother to take it out of the wrapping, which is fine. So then you follow this to immigration, which is just exits. But yeah, no biggie. But I have to go do this without a camera. All right, cleared customs, no biggie. There it is, right there. You just scan your passport and leave. They've got a lot better about this. So now we're gonna go head over to the United area. Well, I might as well tell you about it now. So United actually has a United Club here because this is which we're obviously going to go to. It is a United hub. It's a weird one because it's their only technically official United hub outside of the U.S. Like Frankfurt, Germany, and London Heathrow are kind of, but they're limited by the fact that they can only do flights back into the United States. That's not the case here. Narita is a weird hub. So I don't know the full history, but basically, as I understand it, Pan American Airlines in like the 1960s was able to get a hub out of Narita. And they were able to operate flights from Tokyo, Japan to other parts of Asia, even though they were an American airline. As I understand it, eventually a law was passed that said you can't do that. Your flight has to originate or end in the country of origin, which is why like American Airlines can't fly from like Panama to Australia or something like that. But they're grandfathered in because Pan American had it, then Continental bought Pan American, and United bought Continental. So as long as they keep the routes active, to my understanding, they get to keep using them, or at least use the hub. So they also have Guam as a hub. So as a result, United has some weird routes out here. Now, in the last couple of years, they did some shifting. Back in the day, Narita was the only airline or hub that United flew out of. They didn't fly to Haneda, so most of the slots they had were just to go to the mainland. But they decided to move to Haneda when they could. So most of the time, when you're coming from the mainland of the U.S., you'll end up at Haneda. But if you want to fly Narita, you'll end up in some weird places. They also usually just went to Guam, but they also now have a big hub in Guam, so they were like, well, we can use that Narita stuff for interesting destinations. So now they fly to places that they only fly to from here, such as Cebu, which is in the Philippines, and they're expanding it to places like Mongolia. They're going to start flying to parts of Taiwan. It's going to get very interesting out here, which is cool. But we're not going to any of those places. But what we are doing right now is going here, the United Club. I haven't been to this club in years. Last time I was here, it was closed. I'm excited. Okay, before I go in there, I'm going to show you this. It's tax-free Akihabara. It's more of the mall part. Like I said, this place, infinitely better than Haneda. It has so much more cool stuff. Haneda sucks. It doesn't even have a Starbucks. The only advantage to Haneda is its geography. It's very close to Tokyo proper and Yokohama, whereas Narita truly is out in the middle of kind of nowhere. But as an actual airport, far superior. I mean, look at this. Not that I'm into it, but they have a smoking lounge. Thought I'd give you guys a quick look inside the elusive United Club at Narita. It's huge. It's very nice. We're going to go check out the food in a second. But I wanted to point this out. This is where I've made base camp. My mom and I sat here. I sat there. She sat there. And I gave her a chocolate Millie crepe cake that she didn't like. So it's got vegetation and stuff. It has sushi. Not a whole lot at the moment, but it's got some. We're definitely going to take some of those. We go over here. We've got fruits, desserts. So we got dim sum in there. Simmered pork. Japanese meat and potatoes. Okay, we're going to be eating good. Oh yeah, dim sum. Right on. Honey mustard chicken and pasta. We got tater tots, steamed vegetables. Yeah, this is baller. We got soups, we got rice. This is a win. Decided to scope this out more. Obviously, the steamed rice. We have a curry bar, vegetable curry, as well as the Narita Club curry, a specific brew just for this place. We also have pre-made ramen bowls, and you can add the broth there. This is a good club. Not to mention, of course, the espresso machine, as well as soda. All right, here's the round one spoiled. We got a little sushi. We got some dim sum. I think it's pork and shrimp. Tater tots, the beef stew, pork, and the honey mustard chicken. I'll probably do some curry as well. So this is the curry. It's the Narita special. It's got beef and other ingredients. It has banana in it too. I have no idea if that's standard or whatever, but that's really cool.
And now we got dessert here. I think the upper left one is like a cheesecake type of thing, or a Japanese cheesecake. Bottom right's a little chocolate cake, and bottom left is strawberry roll cake.
Time in the club lounge has come to an end. It is time to go board our flight. Did you guys figure out where we're going? You probably thought Guam. No, we're not going to Guam. We're going to Saipan CNMI, Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, U.S. territory. Have we been there? Yes, apparently 5 times. Whatever, we're going again. Alright, we are officially on Saipan, back in the CNMI, which means I have to go through immigration right there. Of course, I'm an American citizen, so no biggie. There is a little card you have to fill out, even as a citizen, because technically Guam and the Mariana Islands, they have their own special immigration policy because they're territories. Still, being a U.S. citizen, it's just a formality. Alright, I have gone through customs and border control was nothing. They scan your eyes, I was done. That was it. It was interesting, there's a customs declaration. I showed you guys that piece of paper or whatever. You still have to do that, but now the actual piece of paper is irrelevant. So once I went to go give them that, and they were like, oh no, you have to go fill out like a kiosk thing that asks you all the exact same questions, and then once that's done, it prints out a little QR code. So for me, it was just like, okay, I'll go do that. But there were still people like waiting for their suitcases. I didn't check my bags, so I wasn't waiting. There's going to be a lot of annoyed people as soon as they go to give them the piece of paper. It tells them, oh no, turn around and go fill out. There's only 2 kiosks, and one was permanently in Japanese, one was in English. That's going to be frustrating to a lot of people, but I was ahead of the curve on that one. So now, I just have to wait for a familiar face to come get me. I should warn you, when you come out of there will be a lot of people waiting to try and, sell you a cab access. There's no Uber here. Car rental option is right there. And over here, of course, we have the middle one is the flag of the Marianas. I think the bottom one is Saipan specifically. I'll be wrong about that. And top one, of course, is American. Okay, I am now at New Exo Market. I don't think I've ever been to this store before, but it's nice to be here. I'm back with my boys. So Mikey and Glenn, yeah, you guys remember them? Adam? Yeah, from the most popular videos ever on this channel are always Saipan, which is interesting. Yeah. But it's awesome. So, yeah, well, no, thank you. They were cool enough to pick me up, drive me around. We're going to go get some coffee because I need that for the morning. Then they're going to drop me off at my hotel. And then we'll see you inevitably. Like, you and I are going to be rolling a lot. Yeah, we roll a lot. He grew up, so he has less time now, but we'll still see him at some point. We have to at least do dinner at some point. For sure. Yeah, okay, we will. Okay, all right, now let's go find coffee. Unless there's anything else you want me to see right now.
We'll just go with the flow.
He wants me to see this. You want me to see booze?
Does he touch this?
I mean,
he still doesn't. Okay.
No, I don't drink. I'm physically capable of touching it. It doesn't. I'm not a vampire where it hurts or anything. But no, I don't drink it. Sorry.
Oh, okay, we'll change that.
He wants to get me drunk. What is he thinking? I thought you had a girlfriend now. Okay, we're going to scout out the soda aisle, which we normally wouldn't bother to do, but you guys get a lot of more regional sodas because of the geography. So I was just telling them, everybody, like, their soda selection now outperforms Japan, which was really the shock of my trip. But look, they got lime Pepsi, you got Vietnamese Coca-Cola, then you got the normal, typical American stuff, some glass bottle stuff like Blue Shock Mountain Dew. Where's that from? No? Different Canada Dry. I doubt it's North Korean. Different flavored 7-Ups, etc. And the Milo thing. They can attest to this. I kind of freaked out when I saw that. So how did you describe it?
It's like this side of the planet's Ovaltine.
Okay,
it's
yeah.
Like kind of fortified
chocolate drink. Milk drink type thing. All right, I'm going to grab one because I've never had one of these. And this is like, isn't it from Australia or something originally? So. Yeah, I could be wrong about that. But, Switzerland? What?
Oh yeah, Switzerland.
I guess. No. All right, this is a product of. Okay, Switzerland is where Nestle's from. This is a product of Indonesia. Yeah. That makes way more sense. Dude, guys, check this out. They have peanut butter and chocolate flavored Oreos. A few different flavors here. These apparently are all from Indonesia. You guys get all the cool Indonesian stuff.
Check this out, Adam.
All right, I'll check it out.
It has no brand.
Corn Nuts Bar.
But it has no brand.
Oh, it's got no brand. It's Korean.
Yeah.
It's Korean, no brand.
Yeah.
I found a weird Canadian export to Korea. It's maple corn. All right. They got you guys got mutant like Pringles, butter caramel. You got a sweet one.
hot and spicy Pringles, rich cheesy garlic, spicy garlic prawn, Korean smoked. Where the hell are these from? They're Korean. They have to be. Yeah, they're Korean. Apparently, they got all the cool Korean stuff. They got duck neck, which I inadvertently referred to as duck neck. Sorry about that.
No problem.
This is that Milo stuff or Milo stuff. Yeah, it's chocolate Ovaltine type of thing. Let's go. Yeah, it's Ovaltine. It's just like a chocolatey drink, kind of like Yoo-Hoo. This is more popular in parts of Asia. It's mixed into things like Kit Kats sometimes. I've seen that and other candies, but I've never actually had like the base drink before. It's not bad. Half a day, which is basically a good morning greeting down here in the Marianas. So this is my hotel over here, the Oasis Boutique. Funny enough, a couple years ago I stayed in one like right over there. The fancier hotels are over there, but these are, I want to support these. These are fine. And they're local and everything like that. So what are we doing now? Well, it's hot, as you can expect, so I'm going to get back inside as quickly as possible. There it is, the Sunnyside Kitchen. That's what we're going to do. Glenn said this place is pretty good too, but it came up in my Google recommendations. It looked really good, so apparently a lot of Filipino-inspired food too. So I just came out of there. I had the Filipino breakfast, which had like beef and sausage and garlic rice, and had this little sauce you dip it. Oh, it's fantastic. I got to give a shout out to my Discord there, because I was going to go with the island breakfast, because it's Chamorro thing, this region, but this is also specifically a Filipino restaurant, and my Discord's like, no, you should get that. Right call on that one. That was really, really good. So now I'm going to head back towards the hotel area. Maybe I'll show you guys a little bit of Garapan, sorry. Just kind of the more touristy stuff, because I am limited to being on foot at the moment. Later tonight, we'll be seeing Glenn, and we'll do something else. Over there you see a gas station. I should point out that Saipan is interesting. It's one of the only parts of the US where they still pump the gas for you. The other part being like New Jersey. Oregon used to do that. I think Oregon finally dropped that. But yeah, the CNMI as a territory still does that. Guam does not, but it's interesting. Just to give you a look at some of the places, like we got car washes, we got hotels, like it's America. You'll notice this, it's Club 88. Gambling is legal here. It's one of the few parts of the U.S. where it's completely legal. I actually stayed in the Saipan Vegas once. It's like a Las Vegas themed hotel. First time, I only went there once for one night. They gave you a $10 voucher to play. I spent it, and I made like $3 or whatever. It was great. Actually, funny enough, based on Google Maps, this area we're in is essentially Chinatown, which makes sense. There's a really good Chinese restaurant like right over there as well. There's also a McDonald's up there, if I recall correctly. Yep, another gas station, and the beach is over there. In case you've never seen one, this is an example of a CNMI license plate with the logo in the middle. I've done whole videos on all this and the history and a lot of that. But the super short version of this is, if you're wondering why this is part of the United States, it used to be part of the former Empire of Japan before the end of the Second World War. Before that, it was technically part of Germany, and before that, it was technically part of Spain, and before that, it was its own thing, but you're going back hundreds of years. And just as the world goes with empires and all that, it eventually just keeps getting traded hands until it ends up in the United States' possession post-World War II. And the United States decided to keep it rather than return it to Japan, mostly because a lot of the attacks on Guam and the logistics throughout the Pacific had been staged from here, and the United States felt it was better in their hands. And when I've talked to a lot of locals about what they would like their future to be, you know, do you want statehood? Do you want independence? Do you want status quo? Do you want compact or free association? Do you want to return to Japan? No one ever says return to Japan. No one. Most say statehood, but they recognize that that would mean a fusion with Guam as a single state, kind of like how that happened with Hawaii. All the islands were separate territories. That's just the general sense. They also seem kind of content with status quo, but you know, I'm not a politician, but if I was, one of the presidential platforms I would run on is sorting out the U.S. territories. But that's important to me. Oh yeah, so there's a McDonald's right there inside the mobile. I thought it was over there, but I guess not. It's over there. Maybe we'll try that later, an American-style grill. American and Thai food. Because like one of the big touristy things that Saipan has going for it is that it is, of course, American. It's also got an interesting part of
part of the reason they're not a state, actually, is they like to control their own immigration policy and separate it from the United States. So like yesterday, for example, when I went through border control, there's two. There's one that's because you're entering the United States legally. So that's just United States border control. That I could scan my face and walk in because I'm global entry, I'm an American citizen, that's a nothing. The second phase is more unique to territories where they have a section, basically a second tier process where they get to determine, yes, you've legally entered the United States, but you haven't necessarily entered the territory. Now, I don't know any stories of anybody being entered into the U.S. and then denied entry to the territory, but the point is they want to put a filter on it. And that, upon investigating that, basically Guam and the CNMI both have separate policies on this from the mainland because they have to adhere to certain realities the mainland doesn't have to. Namely, they want a lot of Chinese tourists, and mainland U.S. does not. So by not being states, they have the right to allow Chinese tourists to visit the United States as long as they don't attempt to leave these islands for the mainland without a special visa. I guess that's the way I should put it. So when I've asked them, like, you know, would you want statehood? A lot would say yes, but they would still want a measure of control over that, meaning they would still want to allow Chinese tourists to enter. And that creates a glitch because there is a law in the United States that basically says when going between states, you cannot have special border controls. Meaning it's not as simple as saying, okay, they're a state, but they can control their own thing, and then we just put a filter between here and, say, Hawaii, because that would actually be illegal. Bureaucracy, right? Oh, this is a Chinese restaurant we went to once. Very good. But yeah, very walkable place. Very nice. Right now the weather's actually good. It's not super hot or anything. It's like 31 Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. It would be one of those things where if I was president or I had any political power, I would want to sit down and be like, okay, let's figure this out. Because compact of free association is also an option. That's what we did. There's other countries in this region, by the way. There's the Federated States of Micronesia, which I've actually been to. There's the Marshall Islands, Palau. Those used to be part of the United States, but we let them go into separate countries with this thing called compact of free association, where basically you're not a state, you're not a territory, you're your own country, but you kind of have to do what Uncle Sam says. You're a military protectorate, and in exchange, we supply you with resources and economic benefits. You vote our way in the UN. That's an option, but it seems like here nobody has wanted that. Bank of Guam. Oh, remember, over there's a good steakhouse, and there's a really good coffee shop over there. Yeah, it's obviously not that hard to walk around Garapon. Like, this is the most city-like part. This thing was a hotel that was under construction, but ran out of funding. And I think it mostly collapsed during the pandemic. But yeah, what they were telling me is that tourism is way down right now because, ironically, because everything we were just experiencing in Japan. You know, Japan is the second highest profile, like, tourist country to come to Saipan. Japanese tend to prefer Guam, but the problem is in Japan, the economy is kind of tanking. The value of the yen has really gone down. And as a result, a lot of Japanese just don't have the money to come out here anymore. And not a lot of mainland tourists come out here, so I'm doing my part. But hopefully, everyone out there, if you have the opportunity to come out here, you should. United Airlines makes it very, very easy. And these people should be supported, because this is America. These are your fellow Americans. I never saw this before. So this is one of their latte stones. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. But basically, they had these things. This is from ancient Chamorro culture. And they would use them to prop up houses. And so there's like a whole tour of them right here. This is outside, of course, the big mall. So I know I actually have a lot of, let's say, American, North American expats, English-speaking expats that live in Japan. And a lot of them have Japanese wives who don't necessarily speak English. I'm not going to cite anybody specifically. But if this applies to you, and you want to take them to America, Guam and Saipan are not only in the region, they're the most Japanese-compatible parts of the country. Like, I don't know if you can see that across the street. We have an American flag, that's where you are. CNMI flag, because that's where you are. But a Japanese flag, because they cater to Japanese tourists. One of the only parts of the country that does. So I'm inside the ABC store. They have plushies. This one's interesting, and there's actually Japanese people there. There's a Hello Kitty that's exclusive to Saipan. I know Guam has one as well. Okie dokie plushies for Spam, because why not? Yeah, see, there you go. You can get a big towel of it, too. And over here, we got one of those girly calendars, and I can't show you the back of it because NSFW. It's like, as weird as it can seem to my fellow Americans, like right now, where I'm standing, you know, this soil, this might as well be New York. Like, this, legally speaking, is the United States of America, despite not being a state. I have been, so the U.S. has 5 territories that are populated. That doesn't include all like those random bird islands we have throughout the Pacific. But we have 5 territories that are populated. There's the CNMI, which is where we are now. Guam, which is right next door. Puerto Rico is the most well-known one. U.S. Virgin Islands. I've done videos on all those. The only other one is American Samoa, which is the only part of the United States that's in the southern hemisphere. It's actually closer to Australia than it is to any other part of the U.S. I've never been to that. That is the chase figure. Like, one day we will go there. But aside from that, I've been to every other part of America. 55 out of 56 ain't bad.
And that'll do it for part 6. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned to part 7, in which we explore all of Saipan. We'll see sights, we'll get food, and so much more. But in the meantime, do me a favor. Please like this video, comment down below, subscribe if you've never done that before, as well as check out all the social media stuff in the description. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, Patreon, Spreadshirt, etc. I appreciate the support on all those platforms. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later.